Oh my God, Tattle Tells, listen, sit down. Oh my God, I got some tea for you guys. Nicki Minaj's husband is looking at 15 months in jail. That's right. He could be jailed for over a year because federal prosecutors are looking to sentence him for failing to register as a sex offender for an attempted R word of a 16-year-old. Now, you guys already know about this case. If you haven't, you've been living under a rock. But things have taken a really, really deep turn. They're calling for him to serve 15 months in prison and pay $55,000 fine because he failed to register as an offender in California. Now, Nicki's team shot back and be like, no, what are you talking about? He's just filling out paperwork. They literally said, boy, you've been filling out paperwork for the last 20 years. Enough is enough. And then on top of that, guys, listen, they're saying that they want him in jail, not house arrest, because they're saying the sentence house arrest is going to be too easy because you're going to be living in a luxury mansion in California. Y'all, let's break this down all the way to the ground. Woo, because it is a lot and coming in hot on a Friday. They wanted this whole story to float the whole weekend. Because if you guys don't know anything about gossip, whatever you float on Friday stays in the blogs and on the news all weekend. So if you want to well, actually, you know what? Never mind. Let me not give y'all the tips of the trade. Let's get into this mess. Also, really quick, you guys, don't forget tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is the members only live. We going old school, dragging, exposed, and laughing. The link to sign up is going to be in the description box. All right, now let's get into this mess. Okay, so here's the thing, right? As you guys know, let me just give you a little bit of history so y'all can see what the cops are talking about, what the feds are talking about. This is serious. They said Nikki reportedly started dating Petty after he got out of prison when he was 21 and she was just 16. What in the world? I don't understand why people dating people fresh out of prison. But you know what? Nikki was only 16, whatever, right? Now listen, Petty landed back behind bars in 2006 after pleading guilty to manslaughter in the shooting death of Lamont Robinson. He was then sentenced to 10 years in prison and served 7 before being released in 2013. Now in 2019, he married Nikki and they moved to California. Of course, y'all know they had that adorable little baby together, Beer, right? We not holding children accountable for the alleged, not even that, the confirmed and convicted sins of their parents. Anyway, listen. Federal prosecutors are now saying that Mr. Minaj has constantly been informed about the need to register as an S offender ever since he was released from prison in 1999. They said Mr. Minaj has been completing offender registration documents for nearly 20 years. Over the course of 2 decades, he was repeatedly warned that if he moved to another state, it was his responsibility to follow any local, city, state, federal or international laws regarding registration. So why didn't he register? Well, for 2 reasons. One, he's long maintained his innocence. We know about him allegedly harassing the girl that literally not even accused him, but got him convicted of it, of the R word, right? But also because once you're registered as an offender, you cannot live everywhere. You cannot live in certain neighborhoods. You're on a national database. Everybody knows where you are. Now, from a logistical point of view, everybody wants to see where you are at all times, right? Hands on the table. We're not playing with you, Buster, right? This was literally, I think, a direct result from Megan's Law. Listen, I'm not going to get into the legal cause of this. I am going to say that from a logistical standpoint, you have to know where that person is at all times. Even if you're staying at some hotels won't let you stay there, some apartments, some whatever. But that also means while you're traveling, certain countries won't let you in. Certain states won't let you in. You know, Nikki loves Mr. Minaj being on her hip. Again, Nikki has repeatedly said that she thinks her husband was wrongfully convicted and claimed that the victim, that's Miss Jennifer, had planned to write a letter to a judge recounting her statements. Now, I don't know how Nikki would actually know this, and this is no shade to Nikki, but how would you know that your husband's victim, who's been, the court of law has found her victim, was going to write a letter to a judge unless you were directly talking to her? And doesn't this substantiate her claims? But we're not going to get into that also, because here's what he was actually convicted of. And this is why they're like, yo, you need to register. The girl alleged when she was 16, something occurred. He approached her while she was walking to school. He came up from behind, held something to her back, told her to keep walking. He forced her upstairs to a house, began to do things at allegedly, well, not even allegedly, this is confirmed, knife point before she managed to escape him by hitting him with a bottle. So now she immediately reported the incident. She went to the hospital for examination. When she returned home, her adoptive mother told her, sorry, you got hurt, but you should have screamed. Listen, Nikki's husband denied everything. However, he was ultimately convicted in 1995 of 4 counts. First degree attempted with the first degree, second degree assault, second degree unlawful imprisonment, and criminal possession of a weapon. He was sentenced to 4 years and was ordered to register. Now, we're not debating on whether we think he's innocent or not. A jury found him guilty. So why did it take him 20 years to register? Also, prosecutors want jail time because they're saying that in Manton is too easy. Now, this is reported from other outlets, but let's see. They said they want him to do serious time, not home confinement, for failing to register in California. Federal prosecutors don't think 6 months behind bars followed up by supervised release is sufficient punishment for him, who pled guilty to the offense. He pled guilty to the offense. They specifically note any home confinement order as part of his supervised release will be spent in a huge Calabasas home where he and Nikki live. The feds point out that it's in a gated, affluent community and includes a pool, Nikki's music studio, and their beautifully landscaped backyard, amenities not in line with their idea of crime and punishment. In fact, the U.S. Attorney's Office seems to think that the lap of luxury is what led Petty down the wrong path. What are they talking about? They just got married a few years ago. And the docs, prosecutors say Mr. Minaj kept up with his offender registry paperwork for nearly 20 years until he met Nikki in 2019 and moved to California. As they describe it, defendant began dating his wife, quit his job, moved to Los Angeles, and adopted an affluent lifestyle. Okay, listen, where are they getting this facts from? Because the prosecutor said that the defendant, again, I'm reading these reports with you in real time, but I just found TMZ is always messing up a story, and I'm beginning to think they do it on purpose. He hasn't kept up with his paperwork for over 20 years. He fell through the cracks. If you actually read the prosecutor's actual statement, they said that he's been supposedly completing them for nearly 20 years. And that's why they want him 15 months in jail, because they're like, time's up. We gave you one final ultimatum and said, fix it, register, and you refused to. And that's why we're asking, what is TMZ talking about that he kept up with paperwork for nearly 20 years? No, that's not what they said. Oh my God, TMZ is always getting this wrong. Anyway, now the guy, Mr. Minaj, is saying he didn't know the specific requirements to register upon leaving New York State, but prosecutors say he was well aware of the rules after getting annual warnings for 2 decades. As they reported, Mr. Petty had to register. Anyway, listen. Federal prosecutors are done playing with him. They're recommending he serve 15 months of prison, 5 years supervised release, and pay $55,000 in retribution. The judge is going to have the final say when the sentencing goes down July 6th. And baby, you know we're covering it. Y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think this is fair? Do you not? I'm just saying this. Please be respectful in the comments to me and 2 other commenters, because if not, we're going to have a fun day of blocking. But I do want to hear what you guys have to say. All right, you guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.